the value of the item. Again here, the tax is also okay. This one, here the amount is determined based on the value of the item. For example, the property tax. The property tax on which the property tax on buildings, the where the basis is the market value, or the fair value. Therefore, this one is not based on the cost principle. Another classification here, the fourth classification, is the classification according to the scope of authority. Classification according to the scope of authority. So this brings the decentralized authority and centralized authority. Here, under a centralized authority, we can say that this one is managed by districts, municipalities, etc. And what are the kind of the taxes that are paid under the centralized authorities? We can talk of taxes like trading license, trading license. We can talk of the property tax, taxes, we can talk of the rental income tax, income taxes. So how about the centralized authority? So here, centralized authority, we can say that the taxes are managed by the central government, e.g. RRA, Rwanda Revenue Authority, in the context of Rwandan tax structure. If it is in the context of maybe Kenya, that would be the Kenya Revenue Authority. So here, what are the kind of the taxes that have to be paid here? You can talk of taxes like corporate income tax, which is in brief called CIT. You can talk of personal income tax, which is PIT. You can talk of value added tax, which is VAT, also in brief. So that marks the classification according to the scope of the authority. So therefore, we have finished this scope. So now let us look at the scope of rates, or the scope or the graduation of the taxes. So let's first lab off this one because of the space. Let us look at another scope, which is number 5 classification, not scope, sorry. Here the fifth classification we are going to look at is the classification according to the graduation or the scope of rates. scope of rates, or to how tax is imposed. How tax is imposed. So how taxes are imposed? So we have different kind of taxes under the graduation or under the scope of rates. We can talk of taxes like progressive tax. We have tax like proportion tax. We have taxes like regressive tax. We have taxes like the degressive taxes. So what does progressive tax mean? Progressive tax means that it is the tax whose rate increases as the income increases. So here, the rate of the tax rate increases, and income increases. So like the PIT, personal income tax, e.g. personal income tax. How about the proportional tax? The proportional tax here, the tax whose rate increases doesn't change with the change in the income. Therefore, when the tax rate increases or changes, also income doesn't change. It is proportional. It remains constant. How about the regressive tax? Here, the tax rate here, when the tax rate here decreases, you find that the income increases. So it is vice versa. If the tax rate decreases, the income increases. So how about the degressive tax? The degressive here, increase in the rate is not proportional. It's not proportional to increase in tax base. Increase in the tax base. So let's look at another classification, which is the last but not the least, the classification according to the purpose of the tax. Classification according to the purpose of the according to the purpose of the tax. So what is under the classification according to the purpose of the tax? We can say here that there is a general purpose, and there is also specific purpose. So under general purpose, we can also call it fiscal purpose. Where you find that the purpose is to raise money from the government by using fiscal policies. And by using fiscal policies, one of the fiscal policies we have is taxation, so that we can raise the revenues from the public. How about the specific purpose? This one is there just for the special policy. It's like a special policy. Policy has to be established so that this classification as the purpose of tax can be there. Where you find that this is there just to promote or to limit particular activities to achieve social economic objectives, e.g. by setting the special tax on purpose of something, e.g. made in Rwanda. Here you can talk of the special purpose, like establishing made in Rwanda. Made in Rwanda. So, guys, from the classification of taxes, let us look at the sources of revenues. So we have finished all the classifications. There were 6, as you can see here. There were 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we have finished all these classification of taxes. So therefore, let us look at the sources of revenues. So let's look at the sources of income in Rwanda. Of course, the income should be coming from somewhere. We should be having the source of it, the source of revenue in Rwanda. And number one source we can talk about here is the income from employment. Income from the employment, because the bigger percentage of people, they are employees, they are depending somewhere, they're working from somewhere. So therefore, there is an income that is coming from the employment, and services. So another source here can be the income from the craftsperson. Income from the crafts persons, or from the artists. There is the artisans here. Artisans in different disciplines. Can be musicians, can be the craftsmen, and so on and so forth. Here there's also another income from non-residents. Income from non-residents. Income from non-residents. Income of non-residents. Non-residents from permanent, who have permanent establishment in Rwanda. Establishment in Rwanda. There's also another income here. Income from agriculture and livestock. Income from agriculture and livestock activities. There's also another income we can talk about here is the income from investment in shares. Income from investment in shares. There is income from sale. Income from sale, or raise. I can say sell or raise, or use of business movable assets, or use of movable assets. You can talk of income from renting, deposits, and similar activities, and similar activities activities. The embarrassed but not the least, the profits, income from the profits, income from the profits, from the profit share, from the profit shares, from the profit share of partners, the people who are having the business more than 2 people, partners. So this is some of the major sources of income in Rwanda, and the way they are here is the way they are in the Rwandan tax structure. So thank you guys for attending this first session. This marks the end of the first session. So I urge you guys to wait just a little bit, and we go to the second session, which will give us the second chapter. And the second chapter is gonna be the tax, is gonna be the decentralized tax structure, where we are going to look at different aspects of taxes that are paid to the decentralized authorities. For instance, like the trading license taxes, like the rental income taxes, like the taxes of the property taxes, so on and so forth. Thank you so much.